In today's Local Business Spotlight, we're diving into the topic of why we should work with a local company instead of a national or even an online company when it comes to purchasing a new home. Here to give us all the information is Mr. Bruce Dodd of People's Home Equity Mortgage. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
All right, so tell me a little bit about why we should work with a local mortgage company like yourselves, versus a national chain or even an online company.
Sure. There's a lot of different reasons why. First of all, if it's your first time, you've never bought a house before, there's a number of different programs that are more local in nature that the national companies aren't going to bring up, the online companies aren't going to bring up, because you don't make, as a company, you don't make a whole lot of money when you do them.
Right.
We do them because it's a relationship we have with the community, and we think it's the right thing to do. So there may be some programs you're not aware of. Second reason is that often there are a lot of questions you may have that you may not get asked if the only way you can do it is through some kind of chat or talking to somebody in a call center someplace. With us, we encourage our clients to come in and meet with us, make sure that all their questions are answered, and maybe there's a different way of doing things that, because we're willing to spend the time. The other thing, too, is in the mortgage world, the products that we have all the programs of any online company or the national companies. And our rates are going to be very, very competitive, if not lower. So if there's an opportunity to buy local, I think no matter what it is, as long as you can get similar terms, it's a good idea to do it. The Chamber of Commerce, the Chattanooga Chamber of Commerce tells me that when you spend $1 locally, that dollar gets spent on average 8 times again in your community.
Absolutely.
So I think if there's an opportunity for us to do business in our own community, we should always take advantage of that, especially if there's not a trade-off in terms of price, or there's not a trade-off in terms of product. So you can get all the products, you can have the same kind of price, you can support your local community. Typically, the other thing that I think you really need to think about in today's market, ultra competitive real estate market.
Right, it is.
If you're buying a house under 250, under 200, if it's under 200,000, it's like a knife fight in the parking lot to get the house under contract. Representation matters. People, if they see that you're getting a pre-approval letter from a lender that's local, they know they can talk to, that's got the reputation for closing deals like we do, then that may get you that property if all other things are very similar. If somebody else is paying a lot more, well, they're probably going to go with that.
But if the dollar values are relatively the same, someone who's represented by a local company who has their ducks in a row is more likely to get the home than others.
Absolutely. Typically what I'll do is for our clients, when they're making an offer, I will talk to the real estate agent that's representing the seller and let them know that we're good to go. All we essentially have to have is an appraisal and title, and we're ready to close.
Right.
That's a lot different than a computer-generated pre-approval that people know they can't really rely on.
There's still some loose ends with that.
Absolutely.
All right, real quickly, we've got about a minute left. Tell me a little bit about the full process. How long does it take, in today's market from beginning to close?
Well, to close, it really depends on the client. I mean, in some cases, we'll close in a couple weeks. The typical real estate contract these days is written for 30 days.
Right.
In terms of getting somebody pre-approved, that's a very quick process. As soon as you can get your documents to us, usually within 24 hours, we have an answer to you.
Perfect. All right, how do we need to get started with you if we're ready to buy a house this year?
Give us a call, 423-591-9801. Also, stop by and see us, 6650 East Brainerd Road. You can check us out at chatmortgage.com. I mean, in some cases this worked. If you just want to roll down your window and yell my name, in some cases I can answer, but probably just give us a call.
Probably need to give you a phone call,
Just give us a call.
Perfect. All right, Bruce, thanks for joining us. Of course, give them a call or visit them online 24/7 to start your home buying experience.